The time is 11:54, Jerusalem time, although the time should be dated 1 minute back. 11:53 is when the realization really completed. And I'm pleased to announce that the technology for the 752 squares are complete today on this auspicious day of Yud Tes Kislev, the 19th day of Kislev, which is a very important day on the Chabad calendar, but it's called the Rosh Hashanah for Hasidim, and it's a day that's very important for a number of reasons. It's the yard site of the Rabbi Dov Ber of Mezrich, Rabbi Dov Ber ben Avraham of Mezrich. I lit a candle, yard site candles in memory of him today, and the 752 squares is a mathematical calendar work that I've been working on since Hanukkah time, around this time of the year 2019. That time it was Tafshin Pei. It started on, I think, the fourth day of Hanukkah in 2019, and it's completed today. And it went through many phases. It went through the first, the receiving of the information and recording of it. And then it went through an 18-month period approximately of the recording, just the raw data, just the material. After the receiving of it, then a certain amount of time passed, and then another same amount of time went of that time, another 18 months, about a year and a half. A little bit later, not exactly after, but a little bit afterwards, probably like in year 2023, another 18 months went by, where I repeated the same timelines of these are special months. They're not exactly 30 days. These months are 35 days. And that has an effect over time. That extra 5 days, as it accrues each month, you add another 5, another 5. By the time you get to Nisan, you have accrued, you have a surplus of another month. It's like a leap year. It functions as a intercalation of sorts. It's not within the Hebrew calendar intercalation. You're using an intercalation, but this is for thought time. And this Ibrior, this extra year, is important, and I'm not exactly sure why yet. But that's the beauty of this thing. It's received, and I know that it's not my own. I believe it's from a holy source, and I believe it's for a holy purpose. But when I see these kinds of confirmations, I'm always reassured that it's a good thing. So the fact that it's completed. Now, here's what's even more interesting. That when I first completed it, it was 2021. It was the Hebrew year was 5782. It was Hanukkah of that year. It was Kislev of that year. And what I wanted to do was, I did my own thing. Basically, these months are 35 days set. They're fixed. Chok nasam v'lo yavor. Okay, immutable. But what I did was, in the very last month, I wanted to do something stylistic because of the work that I'm doing in the Yichudim between different energies and different people. And the Yichudim that I'm making now is between Ariel Cohen Oloro and his rabbi, Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg, may he be well. And it came out that the last 35-day square came out on Ariel Cohen Oloro's birthday, October 21st. And so I thought that would be really neat if the last square, and I didn't plan any of this, that's the really neat thing. So I thought, how neat is that? Because Cheshvan, it's like the month of Bull, if you know, when King Solomon made the temple, it was finished in Bull, but it waited until Bull. It was finished in Bull, but he waited until Ziv, I think the spring of the following year. But a Bull was there. But Bull is Cheshvan, because Bull is like the Mabul. I thought, look, we're here in the 21st day of October. Okay, it's 15 Cheshvan, which is only 5 days away. It's in that intermittent period between 10th of Cheshvan and the 28th of Cheshvan. That's the ideal time of the Chen. Mar Cheshvan is Shomer Chen, the guardian of Chen. And Chen is the secret ingredient to bring Mashiach. And so I thought, okay, we're in the last 752 square, this 30 square, it's a 5x5 grid. I've explained in other videos, and some of my videos are out there. Each month I've been doing it. You can see them, they're circulating on YouTube and on X, on Twitter. So you can look for it there. Just do 752 squares. Hopefully you'll find it. But anyway, I thought, how neat would it be to finish off the 752 square with Ariel's birthday connecting to Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg's birthday. So his birthday in English is November 14th. So I thought, let's finish it there. You know, it's not 35 days, but so what? We're ending it off anyway, so why do you need 35 days? And it is only 3 years later that I realized that was a mistake. Yes, it was a nice idea, and it's definitely going to pass through his birthday, but it has to complete its Choknos and Lo Yavor. It needs to complete all the way. So it has to go all the way until the full 35 days. And what does that come out to? Today. I mean, back then, this day. That means that now I should make a note that it's 20th of Kislev of the year 5782. Now, in the Chabad, you have to really know the Chabad minutiae that the 19th and 20th day are considered the same day. It's like a 2-day Yom Tov. It's like Rosh Hashanah, the actual Rosh Hashanah, back in September, October time. It's 2 days, even in Israel. So too, the Rosh Hashanah for Hasidim is a 2-day Yom Tov. It's 19 and 20. And when I realized that I made a mistake by stopping it, I stopped it at 14th of November, which is Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg's birthday. But on the Hebrew calendar, it was 10th of Kislev in 2021, which was 5782. However, it was a mistake. I needed to go all the way. And once I went all the way, the full 35 days, like every other month, without cutting any corners, because of stylistic things I wanted to do, it takes you to the Rosh Hashanah Hasidim, is when the 752 squares ended the first time. Because of the way it was made, it started right. Those 5-day things, it's still, the mathematics is unclear to me. I would really love to get together with a mathematician to really understand what those extra 5 days do. But the way it happened was, it made it from the 4th day Hanukkah in 5780, it took, after all the way 18 months, it took it to the day of 20th of Kislev in 5782. There's probably missing days, you want to count the mullies and the chusters, the defective, the shorter months, like the 29-day months, and that's what those 5 days probably take care of. Over that 18-month period of time, there's a gradual attrition of days, and what those 5-day periods did. But the thing is, La, the 35 is Lamed Hey. In the book of Zechariah, it says Chen Chen La, Shuot Chen Chen La. That's again, it all points to Chen. But what's really interesting is after the 18-month period it took us from the fourth day of Hanukkah in the year, which was in 2019, which was the year 5780, when it started. After that 18-month period, it took us to exactly the 20th day of Kislev of 5782, which is this 19th of Kislev holiday, which is today. Now, I'm just saying this is actually 3 years after that. So I didn't realize my mistake, which I thought was like a cool, cute thing, and I thought would be a great addition, thematic, motif to add, to connect the Jew Yehudim between Rabbi Ariel Cohen and his rabbi. But it was wrong. I needed to follow what I heard. Follow the pattern that you saw in the wilderness about the menorah, the pattern that you were shown. I wish they were all prophets. Follow the pattern that you were shown and don't deviate from it. So now that we're coming to this 19th day of Kislev in the year 5786, I'm now looking back and saying that it was correct the whole time, and it gets corrected today. How interesting is it that it was ended already today, 3 years before, just I didn't catch up with it. So I think because of this, it ended on this special day, this auspicious, wonderful day of Yud Tes Kislev, which is really a certain Chag HaGeula. I mean, they talk about the Geula in Tammuz, and that's a different kind of Chag HaGeula. But there's an entirely different feeling now, naturally. The energy is different. But I'd like to read a little bit about Yud Tes Kislev. And here we go. This is from the Chabad.org website. The 19th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev is celebrated as the Rosh Hashanah, the new year of Hasidism. It was on this date in the year 1798 that the founder of Chabad Hasidism, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, 1745 through 1812, was freed from his imprisonment in Tsarist Russia. More than a personal liberation, this was a watershed event in Jewish history, heralding a new era in the revelation of the inner soul of Torah. The public dissemination of the teachings of Hasidism had in fact begun 2 generations earlier. The founder of the Hasidic movement, Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov, 1698 through 1760, revealed to his disciples gleanings from the mystical soul of Torah, which had previously been the sole province of select Kabbalists in each generation. This work was continued by the Baal Shem Tov's disciple, Rabbi Dov Ber, the Maggid of Mezrich, who is also deeply connected with the date of 19 Kislev. Hence, on this day in 1772, when I'm seeing 1772 right now, I'm just thinking that's the year that Rabbi Nachman Breslau was born. That's even more. I don't think they mentioned that here, but I'm noticing that. Going back to the Rabbi Dov Ber of Maggid of Mezrich, who is also deeply connected with the date of 19 Kislev, on this day in 1772, 26 years before Rabbi Shneur Zalman's release from prison, the Maggid returned his soul to his maker. It's his yahrzeit today. And invited him in here today, so I believe he's with us now. And he is inspiring and leading and guiding the way, because the Hasidim was all about the Mashiach. You have stories about the Baal Shem Tov meeting the Mashiach, Emasai Kasimar, etc. Before his passing, he said to his disciple Rabbi Shneur Zalman, "This day is our Yom Tov." Before his passing, he said to his disciple, Rabbi Shneur Zalman, "This day is our Yom Tov." And I invite Rabbi Shneur Zalman of the Adi here now as well to join us and to really, really celebrate the energy of this day. It's amazing. Okay, let's continue. Rabbi Shneur Zalman went much farther than his predecessors, bringing these teachings to broader segments of the Jewish population of Eastern Europe. More significantly, Rabbi Shneur Zalman founded the Chabad approach, a philosophy and system of study, meditation, and character refinement that made these abstract concepts rationally comprehensible and practically applicable in daily life. How much time do we have here? Okay, let's take it to, Wow, this is just amazing. Okay, daily life. In its formative years, the Hasidic movement was the object of strong and often venomous opposition from establishment rabbis and laymen. Even within the Hasidic community, a number of Rabbi Shneur Zalman's contemporaries and colleagues felt that he had gone too far in tangibilizing and popularizing the hitherto hidden soul of the Torah. Excuse me for a minute. Got everything out there. Okay. In the fall of 1798, Rabbi Shneur Zalman was arrested on charges that his teachings and activities threatened the imperial authority of the Tsar, and was imprisoned in an island fortress in the Neva River in Petersburg. In his interrogations, he was compelled to present to the Tsar's ministers the basic tenets of Judaism and explain various points of Hasidic philosophy in practice. After 53 days, does that number sound familiar? 53 days. He was exonerated on all charges and released. Rabbi Shneur Zalman saw these events as a reflection of what was transpiring above. He regarded his arrest as but the earthly echo of a heavenly indictment against his revelation of the most intimate secrets of the Torah, and he saw his release as signifying his vindication in the heavenly court. Following his liberation on 19 Kislev, he redoubled his efforts. And there's a story that's told that's not written here, but when he was in prison, he was visited by, I think it was either the Baal Shem Tov or the Rabbi Dov Ber Rich in spirit form. They had passed on, but I think, or maybe it was Eliyahu Navi, I don't remember now. But he said, "Wow, if I receive this indictment from heaven, should I stop doing this?" He said, "No, just the opposite. You should go more. You broke some barriers. Which goes along with Mashiach too, because it's a poretz. It talks about poretz together. It says from Peretz, Zerah, of course, but it says he's a poretz. He breaks through. He's breaking barriers. He's breaking breaches. It's a priestess, but a holy priestess. And so anyway, this is what the Chabad, the Alter Rebbe did in that time, and he said, "No, you've suffered for this, but don't stop. Continue even more." So following his liberation on 19th of Kislev, he redoubled his efforts, disseminating his teachings on a far broader scale, and with more detailed and down-to-earth explanations than before. This day marks the birth of Hasidism, when the long-hidden secrets of Judaism emerged from the womb of mysticism to illuminate and transform the totality of Jewish life. May the memory of these tzaddikim be a blessing and protection for us on this wonderful day. And on a personal level, it's the day when I finish the 752 squares, which, for time, I won't go into it, but that has a lot to do with the 7 Rebbes of Chabad. The 7 Admorim, as it were, because of many, many things about the combination of 5 and 2, which is part of the reason why it's called 752 squares. But that's for a different time. Maybe next year, or maybe in Yud Shvat, maybe we'll see. But is there anything more I want to say? There's probably a lot more to say, but I think we'll leave it here for now.